Hey everybody, Harlan Kilstein. Welcome to day number 4 of 30 Days to Communications Excellence with NLP. I am holding a book that was one of my all-time favorites of NLP. It's called Influencing with Integrity by Jeannie Laborde. The book's available and Jeannie is out there still teaching NLP, but the best thing that she ever did was this first book called Influencing with Integrity. In her section discussing the concepts that we're talking about today, rapport, she wrote a paragraph that I want to share with you because it's really powerful. So I'm not for reading large chunks. This is maybe 30 seconds to a minute, so stick with me. Why does matching build rapport? Good question. We're not sure we have all the answers. Rapport seems to be similar to rhythm entrainment, a natural phenomena described by Isaac Bentov in Stalking the Wild Pendulum. Different size clocks with the same size pendulums, when placed together on a wall, will gradually synchronize their swings. Discussing this phenomena in Machines and Man, Bentov concludes, nature finds it more economical in terms of energy to have periodic events that are close enough in frequency to occur in phase or in step with one another. Translation: it is the natural way of things for people to move in synchronicity and rapport than it is for them to move separately. Translation: these rapport building skills really work, but they only work if you try them, okay? So if you see someone leaning like this, the obvious thing would be to lean like this. But how you go from sitting like this to sitting like this is the key. So for example, if a person sits like this and you look at him, you scan him top to bottom and you go, oh, all right, I'm gonna go like this, and your hand's like this, and I'm gonna match it. Sandra's behind the camera and I'm matching her. Then, you know, that's not going to work. What they're going to do is they're going to get a sense of you're mimicking me, okay? Mimicry is not rapport. Mimicry is gonna get you in trouble. Okay? One of the things that I believe is about doing things with elegance. You've got to do this the right way. And if you want to do something with elegance, the best way is by practicing. Practice with your family. Practice with strangers. Go into a bar, go into an airport and practice these things on total strangers. You'll find that they work, and they work quickly. There are a lot of people who argue that NLP doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's not scientific. These are usually the people who never got off their fat keister and tried it. Okay? When you go into an airport and there's a total stranger and you are 30 feet away from them, okay, and they're barely in your perception, and you start breathing the way they are breathing, and you start matching their posture, okay, slowly and elegantly, and then all of a sudden you scratch the tip of your nose and they do it too. At that point, I want you to say, you know what? I got people to do that, but I still don't think NLP works. I would tell you to like reach in and pull your head out until you hear that big sucking sound. The bottom line is the people who say that NLP doesn't work are the people who want to sit and pontificate in scientific scholarship settings, but not get out on the streets and do it. I've always been a person who went out and did this. Now, I have to tell you that my exposure to NLP came when I was involved in working with people who are involved with cults. And the first thing that I heard about NLP was an article that appeared in a news magazine. And I read the magazine and I went, huh? This is such a crock of nonsense. And there was very little material available on NLP in my world. And so for a couple of days, I said, you know, this is so bogus. I didn't know anything about it. I just thought, this is so bogus. And then I decided I was going to go to the main flagship of Barnes & Noble. This was back in the days when there was only one Barnes & Noble store. And it was in the Village in New York. And I went down there with the article, and I looked up some of the authors who were some of the people who were mentioned in the article, and lo and behold, there were a whole bunch of books out on NLP that I had never heard of. And I remember buying something like 14 books that day. That's what started it. Those 14 books I bought that day. And I took them home, and I remember the first book that I read was Frogs into Princes. And partway through the first chapter, I went, you know, this is so full of it. And then I just said, you know, why don't I start testing it? And as soon as I started testing it, I was hooked. This stuff worked. You can produce results really quickly. So, what you want to do is when you're sitting with someone, or you want to get into rapport with someone, slowly, with elegance, start getting and matching their body posture. Now, a way to do that, I'm tossing the book down now, boom, it would be as if they're sitting like this, okay, and you don't see it, but my legs are all crossed in front of me. If they're sitting like that, and you sit down, you look at them, and you scan them, and you pick your legs up and whatever, again, they're going to think that you're mimicking them. That's not getting rapport. But if you sit down and you talk to them and whatever, and lean back, you look at your watch, and you slowly put your leg up the way theirs is, they're not going to notice that you're doing it. So you have to appear normal about adopting their posture. If they're doing something weird at that moment, don't copy them. If they're like sticking their finger in their nose and they're digging for gold, don't do the same thing that they are, okay? Because that's not elegant. It's also gross, and if you do that, I'll slap you. But the bottom line here is start matching what people do. Breathe with them. Match their posture. That's called that's called pacing where they are. Now, once you've paced the person and you have rapport, the way to test for it is to lead the person, okay? Lean forward. See if they lean forward. If they don't lean forward, okay, try something else. Tilt your head. If they don't tilt your head, if you miss on 2 out of 2, you don't have rapport, go back and get it. And the way to test it is very simple. Do they follow your lead? If they do, great. If they don't, you got to go back and get it. Okay? When you're with an audience and you're speaking to a group, you can't match the positions of everyone in the group. What you can do is select one person in the audience and match one particular person. Make that person symbolic of the whole thing. The other thing is pay attention to the macro behaviors of the audience. Are they with you? Are they following your presentation? Do they appear to be interested? Are they leaning forward? Okay? If you're doing a presentation, everybody's like this. That's a subtle clue to you that they are not with you. Okay? If you do, and now we're going to get loud for a second, so I'll just pretend it because I don't want to overwhelm the sound thing. If you go, "Are you happy?" and they go, "No," or they don't say anything, and you've just like your "Are you happy?" echoes on just an empty chamber, you know they're not with you. But if on the other hand you go, "Are you happy?" and they come thundering back, yes, you know you've got rapport. Okay? Watch gospel ministers who are in rapport with their congregations, and they have it to a level of artistry. Go out, get rapport with someone. We're going to be talking more about that when we come back tomorrow. Do your homework. I'll know if you don't. See you tomorrow. Bye.